Before raid tonight, I wanted to go and take a look back at a few things that we did on Mimiron. There's things that we can do with fires, and admittedly, I will not always make the perfect call, and I will not always be right. I'm sure that there are going to be multiple ways to do it. There are some things that I saw last night. Again, maybe a different way is better than what I'm seeing. In some instances, there are things that we can do. So in phase 1, this side of the triangle, when these fires spawn here, they move toward the closest player. So typically we've been trying to bait fires over here by this door. When we are standing here, even if fires are close, these middle fires are still going to run to us. So if we move to the button instead, for whatever the reason, then what happens is they're cutting across even more, taking up more space that we want to have available to us. Now, do we need all the space? No, we don't. But for whatever the reason, if something does happen during phase 2, I'd like to give us as much room as we can. And plus, to me, it's just getting good practice in for phases 3 and 4, which become a little bit more chaotic. You can see that the boss is dead, so we're kind of moving on over to where we bait the fires. And we can sit right here right now. So what I'm noticing is we have a lot of people kind of freaking out when you're close to fire. You can live through multiple ticks of fire. And that's without receiving heals, using a personal health stone, you name it. You can live through ticks of fire. You can live through running through fire. And right now there is no damage that you are taking. So running through fire even can be an issue at all either. Our goal is to maximize our space and be efficient. We don't always have to, and sometimes it's better not to. In this instance, we can have the fire stand next to us. We can stutter step our way through it. It's not gonna be the end of the world. So what we did is I'm trying to get people to stand here, and you can see that I'm baiting a fire right on top of us, which is fine. But we have all of this wiggle room and no reason to move, because we're going to bait fires and then run out. So people get kind of antsy and literally question what the play is. I know that WoW is a bit different than competitive FPS games or like League of Legends or whatever it is, but in my experience, it is always better to all be on the same page, whether you agree with the call or not, and listen to the call and fail together than it is to have some people doing what they think is right, another person doing what they think is right, another person listening to one call versus somebody else's questioning, other people listening to the call. It's better to keep everybody on the same page. So there's no reason to boots there. There's a perfectly finely spaced gap here that we're walking through anyway. But this is the gap I wanted us to walk through later. Because right now you see to our right even in the moment, we have space there. Like we could have created a 4-square pattern here and been completely fine. And then stood where that triangle and diamond is now even, because you're not going to get hit by fire there. So that's 6 ticks of fire we could be saving at the minimum here. So then we would have had this space, the fires would have been baited. Then we have the fires, and then we move out. Same concept. Do we need that space? Maybe not entirely, but in my eyes, it's still good practice to becoming comfortable with, being near fire. You can play near fire. This was the other segment that a lot of people were questioning about. So I want you to see right now I have 100% health. I have not shielded myself. As a priest, I have the luxury of being able to power word shield myself. Actually, I just now did. It looks like I have weakened soul. Yeah, okay, I see it. 29 seconds on it. So I would straight up walk through this, okay? And I end up getting down to 72% with shield. So maybe here, it looks like Dray Knight might have looked through it too. He might have a different size health pool than I do. I mean, there's no other healing that needs to be done here. The healers can heal this, no problem. I went through 2 ticks of fire there with a shield down to 79% currently, right? No hots on myself. I have 1 hot on me. So completely acceptable. Nothing else was going on. We were looking to get health stones out here. That's awesome. But the call was to bait the fires here. So right now we kind of need to chill. We don't need to get too antsy. We're okay. We're right now looking for the boss to be misdirected to Shadeburn. We're following our diamond player, which is great. You can see Stormcraft just walk through multiple layers of fire, getting heals. No other damage is going on. Nobody else has anybody to heal. He's at 76% chilling, right? So right here we can be waiting. We can be waiting. We can get in the fires near us. We can be baiting fires. We can be just chilling. There's no reason to get antsy. There's no reason to need to bait the boss into a free area right now. You can see that Warlock pet running into chase an ad. That's the first ad that's spawning. So right now, baiting fires here, because shit gets hectic in phase 3, is great. We have nothing else to do, and the ads are going to run to us. We're going to kill the water boys. We're going to kill the assault bots. We'll be fine. The assault bot's going to get kited around by Conk anyways. He's just going to kite the fire just as if he's going to kite the ad. So right now, if we wait here and bait the fires, there they are. Phenomenal. That was really good by us. We're walking out. No big deal. We just have to worry about the bombs. So right now, this is one example I want to show. We're killing the assault bot. We're cutting the assault bot away. You can see Fraud's handling the bomb. Thank you. So when the assault bot dies here, Now we should be back to where I'm at now. That should be our goal. Our goal should not to be moved to the open area. We have one trigger right now to pull the boss down. So Shadeburn doesn't need to be pulling it to a safe spot yet. Nobody else needs to be doing anything. We're straight up killing ads, right? So other fires are gonna be baited. So right now, if we were able to play in this free space that I'm right here, where you're hugging the fire, right? We're trying to create space, not out where triangle is, not where out where diamond is. If we can be in this area, we would have just baited the fires here. And though one person can kite fires where the previous ones were, and they can snake it in this whole area. And we'd have that whole open triangle where Moon is over there right now. Moon doesn't need to be that far out. And we could have baited the fires here and had a lot of space to work with. You guys have been doing a really good job with the slows. We need to be perfectly consistent. Really good job with the Hodges, the kidneys, getting those assault bots DPS down together and focusing that instead of the air portion has been really good. But I think that we need to just be a little bit more comfortable with the fires. So now that we're looking to do, our last ad and then pull the boss down, now is a great time to shove through and find an open spot, right? So for instance, right now, we decided to go ahead and follow the diamond player, but our moon player had already went to Narnia, and we never said anything. I never saw it or said anything. That's also an L on me. But we also baited fires in a terrible spot, and with everybody freaking out and kind of being staggered and stretched all over the place, what was an open gap is now covered in fire. So for me, I'm able to just pop a personal cooldown and run through it. I have that luxury if this is the class I play. Some don't. But we needed to have played better together a little bit, and then this whole open area would be a bit more open than it is. So that means by the time this assault bot goes down, the fires would be even further away from the space for our melee, and we would have had full uptime on 2 sets, right? And if these range players, right, if you're playing where I'm at now or even further behind me, we have a greater chance of baiting these fires where our previous ones were, which is great because now they're all stacked. And again, we're creating space. So it really is about trying to get in that mindset of I want to hug the edge of a fire as much as I can, or the edge of the room or something like that. If you're a range player and you're playing where I'm at now or anywhere in this middle part, we are limiting the space that our melee are going to have to play the game. And there's times where you have to play there, I get that. But if you see that you have the opportunity to not do that, I think it'll really make phase 3 and 4 a lot better. Come this phase, and especially phase 4, we're going to communicate it, but we're probably going to be just sending it across the map into an open area, whether that's using boots, health stones, personals, whatever it is to get there. But I just want to show you guys some examples of what I was trying to get at last night, and how you really can ride that fine line of fire and be completely okay. It's just about getting us comfortable with doing that.